Good to see you all back, and good to be back. We've got a new project this month, which is atmospheric landscapes, which we must have come up with last year when we're thinking of what to do. I thought perhaps just do an introduction to the project today. I'm not particularly going to demonstrate, but it'd be quite interesting to find out what you think. What are the elements that make an atmospheric landscape? So rather than me do all last year, what would you say?
Mist.
Mist? I'll make a list, yeah? Misty. Yeah. Lightning, all right, yeah.
Cloud formation. Sunrise, sunset.
Okay. Volcanoes. All right, yeah. Yeah. Meteorites, right, okay.
Rock formations. I say that because I
Rock formation. Yep. Rain, yep. Yep.
So then sea spray.
Yep, sea spray. Yeah.
Did it come foliages?
Foliage. Yeah. Okay. Oh right, yeah. Like a full colour, autumn, yeah. Yeah.
Shadows.
Right, yep, shadows. We're getting down to it.
That's sunset.
Yeah, I think we've got candles. Yeah, that's right. That's quite a lot, isn't it? Great. What do you want me to cover? What do you want to cover? I think, so, I mean, I was trying to think about what it would mean and what would be an atmospheric landscape. I hope I've got this recording, just check. I think I have, yeah. So some of these things are like weather things, like weather conditions, like misty, this kind of thing, and rainy. So rock formations, they could be atmospheric, but then they could be quite dull. And a lot of things are dependent on lighting. So lighting is one of the sort of elements that I think creates an atmospheric landscape, which is, that one hints at that, shadows. Yeah, so it's kind of the way the shadows fall, things like that. The way the light, so things like sunsets and sunrises, they're very dependent on both colour and lighting, really. So that's one of those things. Some of these things like, volcanoes, meteorites, sea spray, it's sort of like elements that are in movement, isn't it? So it could be like movement. So there's lots of different things that you could have that you would think of that could be an atmospheric landscape. So, anything you want me to cover in particular over the next, I'm not going to do it today, but over the next 3 weeks, say, are the particular things you want to cover? Otherwise, I will find something, I'll think of something.
What do you mean? Misty? Do you mean the subject?
Yeah, the sort of technical interpretation of these sort of things.
I think that's the hardest thing, is to try and get something that looks like it's being misty.
Yeah. So something like misty would be quite a good one, because I think quite often paintings that are atmospheric have a certain amount of soft edges and softer areas. Not everywhere, but the paintings that I think of as being atmospheric, it's not like everything is done very, very sharply. It might be that some areas are softer, some areas are sharper. Could be that it's all very soft, but at least some of it might be soft. So edges might be something we could look at in, it could be like clouds or like you say, sort of misty edges, or just within a painting. Even if it's a building, it could be that some edges are slightly sharper than others. and some of the forms get lost in the shadows, as it were. So I think they're all things to think about and all things to look at. So I thought, rather than me just come up with what I've got, I thought it'd be quite interesting to see what you had. Sorry?
Not a lot.
Well, I think that's quite a lot. Maybe that's you, Diane. We've got quite a few ideas there. Quite a lot we can go with. I mean, things like a rock formation, certain light effects on a rock formation can make it really atmospheric. Then it may be that it's a really flat light, it's hard to get that sort of atmosphere going, or you might find that, a landscape a little bit like that. Yeah, I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? Got that a lot of northern lights type thing. Yeah, so, yeah.
That's where the shadows will come in, isn't it?
Yeah, shadows, edges. So I mean, it's something that I do sort of strive to get an atmosphere in my paintings, that some have got more than others really. So I brought a whole range of paintings in that I've done over the last week. So these are all yeah. Well, since I last saw you, I've done these since I last saw you. So give you a little tour, I thought I'd do a little exhibition today. So I went to, there was a plein air painting competition in Eton. So that was not Saturday just gone, but the previous one. So I drove up there, and that one I came fourth place. Missed out on the prize money, but that was my painting I did in Eton. I mean, the day, it was quite very enjoyable to paint. It had been really chucking it down, and then it stopped raining. There was a little bit of rain, but not too much, but it's very flat light and very overcast. So it actually made it very easy to paint, because I think I'd spent probably about 7 hours on that, just non-stop, apart from going to get coffee. But the light was very flat, it didn't change much, so it meant that I could keep painting without shadows changing and anything changing. So it stayed quite still, which was quite very enjoyable to paint. Probably not the most atmospheric paintings, though, I personally would say. So that was the one I did in Eton. Then went to Wales, drove up to Wales the next day, kind of stayed. That was the next one I did. That was a bit more atmosphere. So that was in Llanberis, where I was staying. It was really hot to paint. It was absolutely chucking it down and very windy at the same time. So that's as far as I got. There was a bit of, some of this is a bit sketchy because I'm holding an umbrella and painting something. my umbrella's got a clamp, but it was so windy, it just blew it straight over. I was taking the easel with it, so I had to just hold it. So that was that one. Managed the morning and then gave up painting for the day. Did a bit of sketching. What do we do next? The next day was just as raining. And we went to Carnarvon, and this one I think is a bit more atmospheric. So that's Carnarvon Castle, and then one of the gateways in the town walls. And that one, again, painted it under the umbrella, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, but it wasn't windy, so it's nice. I could just clamp it and just keep painting. So that was fairly happy. I wonder if that's a bit too light there. I think it might create a stronger atmosphere if I darken that. But to me, that's got a bit of for me, I feel that it's got a bit of atmosphere. And like I say, I might change that part because I think it's a bit distracting. I think it's probably better if that's just darkened down a bit. That's that one.
Did you take a picture of that then, or will you just change that from memory?
Oh no, I've got photos. When I'm painting outdoors, I pretty much always take photos because things do change, and I don't necessarily do everything outdoors. Sometimes I'll come back and I'll tweak things, change things, add people, take people out, make some changes, just get it to be a painting I want it to be. So that one, I'll do. Probably most of these, I might do a tiny bit more too. So that was that one. Actually, what we did do is the morning. That one I did in sort of from about 11 o'clock onwards. This one I did very quickly in the morning because we watched the weather forecast and it looked like there was an hour of dryness. So we thought we'd drive in the rain and we'd do some painting. So this one was a very quick one from where I was staying. We were just staying in the town, just over this way, so just round the corner. And this one I just really crashed through in about an hour. And to me, I was quite pleased with that. I was quite pleased with the way the sky was going here. To me, it was developing a bit of atmosphere. So that's something I could possibly do a bit more with, or maybe do another version. So again, it's sort of lighting, contrast, things like that, different softer edges here, perhaps sharper edges here. That's that one. This was, we had one Sunday and we went to Port Merion. So if you've heard of Port Merion, it's like a kind of, I picked the most traditional style building in there, but it's actually Italian inspired, and it's a visually fantastic place to paint. It's really interesting. I thought it might be a bit naff, but actually I really liked it there. And what caught my eye was this little statue and the light on that, and then the contrast with this building, and then there's other statues here. And then as the day went on, all these children started playing in the paddling pool, and so I managed to get some people in the shop. So that was that one. And then this was the next day. We didn't have rain that day, but we had the strongest winds I've ever painted in, I think. When I was painting this, I couldn't stand up. Nobody could stand up, it was so windy. So we thought, I thought, I'll have a go at taking cover in sand. So we sort of sat down to this one. But the trouble was, it just absolutely got sandblasted. So there's quite a lot of sand in that one, and then the stayed in the paint for the rest of the day then. So that's that one. Again, I really enjoy painting though, because I've never really painted very much with sand mixed in with it. So it's quite a new experience.
You can start your own TV series, painting in extreme conditions.
Yeah. My friend who I was painting with, he was really cursy most of the time back to that.
Oh, did you start off with the board that shape, or
Yeah.
did you cut it back off?
No, I take a whole range of boards with me.
Yeah.
So I've got these new panel carriers, so that they're on that. But what I do with that shape is, I just had this little bit of this stuff for tile edging, so I just made it a bit narrower so that would slot in. But I quite like that as a format, as a shape. So yeah, all these are pre-cut boards, and I just take a range of boards with me. Because I sort of thought, well, some of these just suit a panorama type format, and I really like that shape for all some subjects. Again, this one I thought that would work nicely on that shape. So after that one, we then went looking for somewhere else to paint. We found a nice lighthouse, but again, it's too windy to stand up. So we drove down the road, and we saw this little cove, and we thought, oh, that looks really nice. And it was slightly less windy, so I managed to paint there. But again, there was a lot of paint mixed in the paint, a lot of sand mixed in the paint from the previous painting. So this one's, again, got quite a gritty feel to it. But I was thinking, I think one of the projects later on is seascapes. So in a month or two, so I thought I might use that as a basis for the seascapes project.
So you find it's a nice windy, sandy beach.
Yeah, we'll have to go out to North Wales. But I've got a few photos we could use, or you can come up with something like that. But I always find sometimes groups have asked me, can I do something with sort of stormy seas? And you used to have to get in Southend, and I haven't really got any references, but going up there, there's loads. So that was that one. And then the last painting I did was this one, and this was, again, this is more kind of just landscape elements. So I was thinking, perhaps with the demos of this project, I'll concentrate, I won't have buildings in, it'll be more like trees and skies and things like that. This was a little river of rocks called Fairy Glen, I think it was, so that was quite near where we were staying. And we spent a few hours painting there, so that was the last one. And this was quite interesting, sort of like the way the light sort of twinkled on the water, and it was a hard thing to get a sense of atmosphere and out of, because there was quite a lot of flatness. So, and again, I probably would have a look at my photos of this one, see if I can bring a few bits out. I think this perhaps could be darker, and there's a few bits of light up here to go. But anyway, that's what I came up with in Wales.
Very good.
So does that help, do you think? Yeah. So hopefully, as I say, some I think are more atmospheric ones in different ways. But yeah, if this, I will have a look at, perhaps see if we've got any misty scenes, or perhaps use some of these as, some of the more landscapey ones as demos, and do some sort of demos on them over a couple of weeks. In terms of class fees, I haven't had a chance to work it all out yet. So if you could, I might be able to do it as we go. Those of you that sort of pay by the month sort of thing, but I can do that if you can remember what you've done, but I will do that. I was going to do it last night, but I just couldn't be focused.
When are we going to finish, do you know, in July?
Yes, it will be pretty much, did I have a date here? Sometime after the 13th, so I think I'll do a couple of weeks, first couple of weeks of July, then probably stop it. I'll have a look in a minute, yeah, the date, probably, again, I haven't planned exactly how long, but I won't do it quite as long as last year. I'll be a bit shorter. I need to sort of plan some summary things. Okay. Yeah.